Welcome to this edition of Racing to Win, our first Saturday fixture for the season here in Hong Kong. We've got a big 10-race program coming up with 3 races on the all-weather and 7 on the turf. And for the first time this season, the rail is in the true position, the A-course on offer for racing on the turf there on Saturday. Good evening, good afternoon or good morning to wherever you're watching, to Tom and Paul. Tom.
Hello Brett, and hello everybody. Looking forward to Saturday racing resuming here at Sha Tin, and some good racing coming up through the course of the afternoon. Race 7 is the feature race, the Pokoi Centenary Cup. Harmony Victory looking to pick up where he left off last season, and interesting one down the bottom there, Star Performance, who was able to win at big odds at the end of the season.
He was. Some interesting debutants on the program, Paul, including Uga Chaka.
Looking forward to
Who
him.
you've been waiting for?
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to him running around as well. A very interesting name there with Uga Chaka. But look, there's some really good racing throughout the card. I think there's some really good betting opportunities. There's no jackpots to speak of, but there's some really even races and some nice young horses going around.
Got a horse called Alcatraz as well.
Yeah, I thought it was Alcatraz. I've been calling that in the track week, but
I don't think you're on your own there, but
Alcatraz.
Interesting debutant. There are a number of them, as we've just touched on. Let's have a look at the information for the big 10-race card Saturday at Sha Tin. There is a scratching, who was going to be an interesting runner in the race because he is a good 1,000-metre horse and there's a lot of pace in race 6, but he won't have to bother about him now when you look at the form guide. Hair Trigger, race 6, number 11 is scratched. So 7 on the turf A course and 3 on the all-weather, races 1, 4 and 9, and class 5 to kick off the program. Corre Rapido has the £10 claim for Alfie Chan. Blade Race has drawn the outside gate, Never Better. Winner's Brother Exponents, we know Me Choi's got a fabulous record on the all-weather. We go down towards Fortune Way, who left John Moore, went to Ben O'Young in the off-season. Shining Bright and Winning Circle will have his second run for Michael Chang. Now, Chun Fa, plenty of traffic up at Chun Fa these days on the Gallop tracks, the dirt tracks, all the tracks up there. Blade Racer, Winner's Brother, Let's Come Back and Fortune Way have all been preparing up there. Now the speed on the dirt, 1200, they'll jump and run early.
They will, and horses like Corre Rapido and Blade Racer, I think fairly stock standard. They'll go to the front and to try and dictate from there. Blade Racer might have to do a little bit of work from a wider stall to do that. Another horse that could potentially challenge up there is Whistle Up, but from gate number 1 you'd say he'd slot down to the rail and get a nice suck through over on the rail. Exponents, he's going to need some luck if he's to get in from his stall.
This horse here has always worked well on the surface and trialled well on it, Yi Chong Lucky. He's now down here into class 5. He did drop back down the back end of last season, ran some not bad races as well, including a nice 4th behind Nice Fandango. Fortune Way, he's one of those ones that have been up in Chung Fa, and here he is before he came back down here to Hong Kong and moves nicely here with a 400-metre gallop. So he's looking in good order. He moves nicely. He's had a good summer up there in Chung Fa and really pushed out here. It was Shining Bright. I thought I'd show this one. It did trial once quite well before going on to the all-weather, but he ran terrible on that day, and the jury's still out with him, but he was pushed out in that particular race.
Yeah, he looked to move okay, didn't he, over the final stages. Let's start with some exposed form. Exponents has had 2 runs already this season. He ran second on debut behind Fortune Happiness. Corre Rapido had his chance. Run Moochie, and Winner's Brother was the one that was beaten a fair way.
Yeah, so Me Choice had him tuned up early this season. Exponent's already up for his 3rd run. He ran on the turf at Happy Valley last time out, but this is his run on the all-weather. I think he probably had his chance here. He was just beaten by 1 better on the day, just like he was at Happy Valley with Prawn. Corre Rapido, he went to the front and tried to run them into the deck, but wasn't able to do so. I've got Exponents in, but I think he's probably had his chance now.
I've got him in. I've got Corre Rapido in as well. I just thought with that £10 claim, it might just help him, but he doesn't have to carry the 133 as well, so with them both in.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think both are worth a shout for sure. Let's move to Never Better. I do think Blade Race is capable of getting away with a class 5. I thought it might have been at the Valley, but here he is, 1,200 metres on the turf, and now he's going to have a crack again on the all-weather. Never Better, we know him. He'll sit back and do his best work late. Yeah,
this will be the 3rd run as well for Blade Racer. The cross noseband and tongue tie will go on him, back on the tongue tie. Barrier 12 and Never Better. Zach Purden will take the mount on him. And look, he's had 1 start in the all-weather. He did finish back on that occasion, but you know, Zach's jumped aboard and he is well rated, the horse.
you considering him, Tom?
My concern with Blade Racer is he just might have to use a little bit of speed to get there, and if he's had to use that, he just might be found wanting at the end.
All right, Yi Chong Baby. Paul just highlighted his track work. He has trialled a couple of times for Joe Moreira in preparation for this performance.
Yeah, this is the one I'm going to go with. He's sort of the new kid on the block here. His work's been very good on the surface. The blinkers hood come off. They'll put the visor back on. Joe Moreira has got good affinity with these Class 5 horses. I thought this was a really nice trial from him. You can see he wasn't pushed at all at any stage of this straight, and just ran under his own steam and ran a nice fourth. So I'm happy to go with him.
Joe's ridden him in his 2 trials now. He just coasted to the line in that trial, so I think he's ready to go. And there's lots of gear changes, so plenty of interest.
Yeah, if Joe has him outside the leaders when they corner just like that, when he does push, I think there'll be a little bit there too. And at the moment, Exponents is the early favourite, but a few in the market, Paul.
Yeah, there is Class 5 here on the all-weather. I went with Yi Chong Lucky. He's had 10 starts. He's come down to Class 5. His best run was his last start, the back end of last season. He was a bit unlucky when he ran 4th. So he's on top from Corey Rapido, Exponents and Runmuchi. 3 horses we've already seen this season. 6, 1, 5 and 9.
On top for me is Cora Rapido with that £10 claim of Alfred Chan for Richard Gibson. He's got gate number 11. He was only headed really over the last 150 metres. Exponents goes in. Yi Chong Lucky is certainly very interesting with all those changes that he's got. And Joe Moreira up. Good trial and never better with Zach on board from gate number 2. Gets a tick next to his name as well. So 1, 5, 6 and 3.
All right, that is the first of 3 races on the all-weather dealt with.